end of the day, let me remind everybody, what we are trying to do is end a war that has cost a lot of money to us, to our allies, cost a lot of lives, destroyed a lot of lives, forced people. Well, I don't think peace deals are built on trust. I think peace deals have to be built on verification, have to be built on facts, have to be built on action, have to be built on realities. So this is not an issue of, well, of trust. It's an issue of building in these sorts of things, verification, security guarantees, things that have been discussed in the past. All these things are being talked about here. All of these things. Yeah. But right now, it's not the time. If we're trying to bring two sides together, the last thing you want to do is give some side, one of the two sides, an excuse to walk away from this effort. We're just trying to achieve peace. At the end of the day, let me remind everybody, what we are trying to do is end a war that has cost a lot of money to us, to our allies, cost a lot of lives, destroyed a lot of lives, forced people by the millions to leave their country, millions of Ukrainians that no longer live in the country and have not been able to come back. We just want all this to stop, and we're trying to find whether we can play a role to make that happen. I hope, everyone should hope that we're successful. Instead of rooting against President Trump, everyone should be hopeful that President Trump can bring this war to an end, because it truly, at this point, is not good for anybody. It may not work out. Peace deals are hard, but we are trying, and I think the president deserves credit for spending this much time and this much energy and these many resources to try to bring about this outcome of peace. The fundamental fact is this: for 30-something years, the Chinese have gotten away with unfair trade practices. Not just unfair, outrageously unfair trade practices. Just very simple. Chinese companies can do whatever they want in America. American companies can only do what the Chinese allow them to do in China, and it's very limited, and every year it gets more and more limited. They flood, not just us, but they flood the world with exports, but they push back against any imports. They are 100% favorable to their, unfairly favorable to their companies and unfair to ours. They steal our intellectual property. They reverse engineer things they get a hold of. I mean, it's on and on and on, unfair, and they've been allowed to get away with it. And finally, almost too late really, but finally we have a president that stood up to it. And it's not just us that needs to be standing up to it, by the way. Europe is concerned about the number of electric cars that China tried to dump on them. China's had trade problems with Canada and with others. This needs to stop. And so the bottom line is that the president is dealing with something that should have been dealt with a very long time ago, and it was almost too late.